Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode. Today we have a special episode. We're going to be hosting a debate between a rabbi and a monk. For the first guest, welcome in the rabbi. Welcome in. You'll sit right here. For the second guest, welcome in the monk. Welcome in. No need for introduction. We have an unbiased moderator here. And welcome in as the co-host, as usual, Michael. Mike, take a seat. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Oh.
Wrong hand, yeah. You got it? Nice to meet you. Nice meeting you. Let's start off with the rabbi first. If you want to just introduce yourself real quick, tell everybody who you are.
Hi, I hope all is well. My name is Rabbi Aaron Golfis. I work with an organization called Esha Chaim. We do Jewish outreach, and we talk about Judaism. We spread Judaism. We do, and we have a YouTube channel. I'm the author of this book called Indisputable Truth.
Can I see it?
Thanks. And the book was a best-selling book in the Jewish world. Talks about compelling evidence for the existence of God. How do you know the Torah, the Jewish Bible is from God, and the purpose of life? And so been working on that and a couple other different projects.
Awesome. Do you want to introduce yourself now?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Matan, for having me and for hosting this.
Thank you.
I'm Bante Warapano. I'm a Buddhist monk. I'm originally from America, but now I spend a lot of time overseas, living and practicing at the Buddhist monasteries in Thailand and Myanmar and some other countries as well. So I'm happy to be here and share from the side of Buddhism and meditation.
Awesome. I forgot to do this earlier. If you guys are thirsty, here you go.
Thank you.
We have a diet root beer for everybody. A&W, zero sugar diet root beer. I have a water. A water for me. All right, well, let's start off with the first question. To start off, I have a question for you. Rabbi, please tell me what you think you are going to agree and disagree on with the monkey.
I'll tell you, I think Judaism and Buddhism overlap in many different ways, just like every other religion. But obviously, the general could be agreed upon, but there's always the details that are kind of different. So topics such as, what the purpose of life is there a God? Did God speak to humanity to give him a document? What the goal of, what the purpose of life is, Do
you think you guys would have disagreements on those fundamentals?
A little bit similar, but yeah, probably going to be a little, somewhat disagreements, yeah.
So similar, but have some differences?
Yes.
What about you? What do you think you're going to have agreements and disagreements on going into this debate with this rabbi?
Well, I'm not thinking about that, but Buddhism, we couldn't say that Buddhism and Judaism are the same, so there may be some similarities and differences, and we'll find out as it happens.
Awesome. I do have to ask this just to make sure there's not going to be any issues. Do either of you guys feel any urge to attack the other?
No.
Do you feel any urge to physically hurt him?
Buddhism is a non-violent tradition, so we do our best.
Yeah, Judaism, same thing with Judaism. I think that's a similar overlap.
No, you don't want to hurt him?
Yeah.
Okay. This question goes for both of you. You guys can start conversating with each other.
Yeah.
Try not to interrupt each other too much, but here and there you guys can overlap each other. How do you know that your religion is right and the others is wrong, incorrect?
Do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. So Buddhism, we can say, is more like a system of education or a particular practice methodology about how to deal with suffering, deal with the difficulty that life encounters. So it's less about belief than people may imagine. More about what we practice and definitely being a good person, but doing the right thing rather than the wrong thing. And we determine, well, what's right, what's wrong? Well, what works, right? What reduces suffering in oneself and in the world, and what's wrong is what causes more suffering, more difficulty. So, and that has a lot to do with generosity in Buddhism. Like the foundation of Buddhist practice is generosity, which enables you to be a good person.
So I think it all starts with the foundational question of, is there a God, is there not a God? I think once you get to that, and there's obviously the arguments, the first cause argument, the intelligent design argument, the fine-tuning argument. Once we move past that question that there's a creator, and I know Buddhism on that idea is not so like, to be Buddhist doesn't really require you to believe in God or not believe in God. Is that hope I'm right on that?
Yeah.
It's not really dependent on belief or God or...
Yeah, it's not dependent on belief in God or not. That's right. So as we were talking earlier before we started, that there's what did you call them? Jubists? Jubus.
What's that one?
So
Jews who practice Buddhism. But
Jews who practice Buddhism.
But not Orthodox Jews, meaning Jews who left
And you
Judaism.
probably hate those people.
I don't hate anybody.
Oh, you don't know nobody?
No, I don't hate anybody.
What about somebody like a Nazi?
I mean,
Like Hitler.
Everyone hates evil, right? These people are evil. These people bring.
So you don't hate Hitler?
Of course, I hate.
So
evil.
then there are some evil people.
Yeah, but I don't think the Jewish Buddhist is trying to be evil. I think he's just misinformed.
So you're saying that what if the Jewish Buddhist was Hitler? What if it was a Jewish Buddhist named Hitler?
So I wouldn't hate him for being a Jewish Buddhist. I'll just I hate him for being a Hitler and killing millions of people for no reason.
So there can be some hate.
If it's evil, it's evil. What do you say? You like Hitler?
Oh no, I'm just the moderator.
Okay.
On to you now.
well, by the end of this,
He's the moderator too.
by the end of this podcast, you might be a Jubu.
Oh, me?
It could be possible.
Yeah. I'm not religiously Jewish or anything. I'm just, I've been thinking about it. I'm not atheist or nothing, a criminal like that. So I just want to find more inner peace and find which one suits me right. I wanted to get everybody in on this, I wanted to get a sheikh, but I wasn't able to find one. Same with a priest from Christianity. Yeah. It was difficult for me to find one, so hopefully in future we can do another one where there's everybody's included, but just for this one, we just have sort of a one-on-one between you two. Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't turn out into a brawl or anything.
No, don't worry. But just to finish what I was saying, so once you go on the idea if there's a God or not, right? God is obviously not creating the world, the universe, a creator, a first cause. He's not creating the world for nothing. He's not bored or anything, right? He's infinite, he's above space, above time, right? So obviously if he's creating the world, there's a purpose, there's a reasoning. And obviously human beings are the most intelligent beings in the universe, right?
What about one of those crows? They're really smart. They can collect money and then fly and bring it to the owner.
Yeah. I'm saying with consciousness, we're the only conscious beings, right? So if God created conscious, meaning we have morality, we can tell good and bad, we think, look at the world.
Some people think there are certain animals with consciousness.
Well, let's see them build a society. Let's see them debate between, killing like a lion. A lion.
There were some studies.
A lion doesn't debate whether he's going to kill a zebra or not. It's natural instinct. Human beings they'll think twice. Wait, to finish what I was saying.
Yeah.
That once there's a God, okay, God must have gave humanity an instruction manual of what the purpose of this world is. And I'm coming from the perspective, this is all Jews, Orthodox Jews, Jews who believe in Judaism, practice Judaism. We come from the perspective that God he created the world and he gave humanity, Jews and non-Jews, an instruction manual called the Torah. The Torah, as Christians call it, the Jewish Bible. And God told the Jewish people, God commanded the Jewish people to be, the light to the nation, to teach the world about the idea of God. And
so you think Jews are better than non-Jews?
Not at all.
So, but you said that
whoever keeps their mission.
Real quick, let me ask you: do you think the Jews are the chosen people?
So yes, God chose. That doesn't. Whoa.
Well, you know why Jews are gonna get hatred for comments like that, right?
So I'll tell you.
It's like I was born. It's pretty similar to racism, just excused by religion.
No. So I'll tell you why this is different from everything else, and if you let me finish. Chosen people. The idea of chosen people is that the whole world at one point in time of Abraham were polytheists. They believed in many gods, no relationship. God had a relationship with Adam, but slowly over time his descendants lost it, right? Maimonides brings that in the first chapter of the laws of idol worship. It describes the whole situation. And what happened was that Abraham, when the whole world is going against God, that's why it's called Abraham the Hebrew. What does the word Hebrew mean? Ivri. Ivri comes the word the other side. Abraham came and said, guys, there must be a God. Using logic and common sense, there must be a God. There must be a creator, right? You would never say this can of Coke created itself, right? It's designed. There's intelligent design here, right? It's finite. Finite comes from finite. Comes from finite. Comes from finite.
Okay.
And it must come from infinite, right? Or else it goes on forever.
Right. Okay.
So Abraham came to that conclusion using these arguments that there must be a creator, and because he went out of his way, sacrificed his life to spread the truth of that there's a purpose to life, whatever, people try to attack him, people try to take him down.
Okay.
But eventually God said, okay, you know what, Abraham, you chose me, I choose you, and I choose your descendants. Not that they're going to be better than anybody. If someone wants to convert to Judaism, and what's the difference between a Jew and a non-Jew?
Well, real quick, have to interrupt. Because as a Jewish, I'm not a religious Jewish, but as a Jewish, I know the culture better than most. You will have to admit that Jews really discourage people from converting.
Oh, so
then there you go. I mean,
I was actually explaining this.
It's not like a Muslim or a Buddhist, really. Like, I don't know, maybe we'll get an answer. I want to let him speak soon.
Sorry, just to finish what I was saying is that Judaism, non-Jews have to keep the 7 laws of Noah, right? The 7 laws of morality: not to kill, not to steal, not to do animal cruelty, stuff like that, not to commit acts of immorality. And Jews have 613 commandments. More commandments.
Okay.
Not because they're better. God gave them a specific mission and task. It's a responsibility. And if a non-Jew really wants to, anybody, he could take on that responsibility and say, you know what, I want to also keep the thing. He has to do an Orthodox Jewish conversion, accept upon him the commandments, and take that responsibility. So Judaism just discourages other people from doing that because it's not easy to take that responsibility. And listen, if you're barely keeping 7, why are you going to keep 613? But if a guy thinks he's able to do it, then he goes through the whole process. But the point I'm trying to say is that's not racism. It's not like saying I have a club and you can't join it. I'm saying you want to join the club.
Well, a little bit.
No, it's
100%.
not saying that. It's
just
saying,
a little bit.
It's saying if you want to join the club, you have to take on the responsibilities of the club.
Let me ask you this. What if there's a trickster? What if somebody gets converted by a rabbi and then they start, they don't keep nothing?
So, beautiful. The whole definition of converting is accepting upon yourself to keep the commandments.
Well, okay, what if they change their mind?
Oh, so if a person did it with a full heart and they wanted to do it and then they backed out after, but when they did the whole process, of going in front of a Jewish court, dipping in the mikveh, accepting the commandments, doing circumcision, all that stuff, right, for a guy, then later on he says, I don't want to be Jewish anymore. It's too late. He's a Jew. He's stuck as a Jew. Even if he was born a non-Jew, even if he was born in in the middle of nowhere and he has no connection to Judaism, he's a Jew now. Because once you get in, you're in, right? Once you join the club, you're in the club. So So it has nothing to do with racism. Has nothing to do with or better. It's a responsibility, and God, only if you're capable of doing it and you're able to and you want to live up to it, you could do it.
Hey guys, sorry for the quick interruption. Have to let you know that today's episode is sponsored by Sheath. They've already sponsored a couple episodes of the podcast. Today I actually have the product in house to let you guys see how it works. Here's the underwear. There's actually a link in the description if you want to use my code Matan, SHEATH.com, sheath.com, and you use code Matan for 20% off if you want to buy anything. So we have like a little auction house here. That's the underwear they're selling. If you didn't already know, they are an underwear company. To tell you a little bit about them, they have the double patch that helps reduce sweating, and it's also been recommended by urologists, some sort of doctors and bullshit, stuff like that. So you can check it out, sheath.com. Let me tell you a little bit about it more. I've personally used the company. I think it's a pretty good company. Every once in a while when I take a shower, I'll make sure to check it out and put it on. They do use good materials as well that help, again, reduce the sweating and help keep you comfortable. So if you want to check out Sheath, SHEATH.com, sheath.com, use code Matan for 20% off. What is your response to that one?
Well, as a monk, it's like, I've gotten a lot of happiness and a lot of freedom by becoming a Buddhist. I wasn't born into Buddhism. And now I'm like a Buddhist teacher, and, I have many followers and students and people that support me to live my life.
Like followers on Instagram?
No. People who follow my teachings and
really?
come to stay at the meditation center, come to do the meditation retreat
like
with me. Not really like workers, because they come to practice meditation. They come to know about the truth. They come to understand about their own mind. So it's not really like they're workers or something like that. But so that approach means that, like, my Buddhist philosophy is more about how I have helped myself and then sharing that with other people so that they can help themselves. And that has a lot to do with generosity.
What did you think about what he said? He thinks that Jewish people are the chosen people. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, we're all the chosen people to be experiencing this at this
He
moment.
doesn't think so.
Then we have to go into the
think
definition of what
every-
is a chosen person. What does it mean?
Even a
right?
non-Jew, if he keeps the 7 laws, he has a special status. He's a righteous person.
He,
It's not a Jew-
but you still view him as a goyim, like a non-Jew.
Because again, there's a distinction. There's people in the club and out of the club. Not to be out of the club doesn't mean you're bad or anything. It just says, like, for example, I want to be American citizen.
It's like seeing
Wait.
seeing a frog. It's like I'm not gonna hurt him.
No, not
I'm
at
not gonna
all.
hurt him. But if it comes down to it, I might eat him a little.
Not at all.
Oh.
It's like, for example, I want to be American citizen, right? Not anyone could just be American citizen. You have to study American history. You have to
Yeah,
say,
but there's
you have
difference
to
between
take
church
upon
and
your-
state, right?
You have to take upon yourself to keep the laws. So some guy could say, you know what, I want to be American. What do you mean? First, take the test. Do what you have to do. Go through the process. Oh, but what do you mean? I'm not American. You're better than me because I'm not American. No, it has nothing to do with that. You want to join American? You want to become American citizen? Then there's specific. I'm fine. Thank you. There's specific, you know, a way of doing that. That doesn't mean American is better. Same thing with the Jews. Judaism is a way of connecting to God, right? If someone wants to take it upon themselves, a non-Jew, and he's really serious about it and wants to do it the right way and not, you know, convert through a reform rabbi or whatever, do it the actual Orthodox way, accept the commandments upon himself and keep them, then obviously Judaism is gonna, like, you know, like, the rabbi, whoever's converting him, is not going to, like, say, oh, come join, you know, we're going to push them. What do you mean? It's hard. It's not easy. Are you serious? Whatever. But if they're really serious and we see the person's consistent about it, then of course we accept them. That has nothing to do with racism. That's the same thing American would do if someone wants to become American citizen.
A little bit different.
Buddhism is primarily, you know, what we want people to become empowered. You know, we want people to become happy and peaceful and to be enlightened. And, you know, this term enlightenment gets thrown around a lot, but it's actually something quite deep and profound, you know, like being the Michael Jordan of your mind, or the, you know,
Michael Jordan.
like the king of your mind, so that nothing can disturb you.
Do you think Michael Jackson was innocent?
I didn't expect this to go there, but I usually don't think about Michael Jackson. You know,
What
I
about you?
don't
Do you think
listen
he
to
was
his
innocent?
music or.
Listen, man, I don't know. I'm not the investigator of the case.
Just a guess. Was he innocent guy, Michael Jackson?
I don't know. I wasn't there. I can't.
Because he said Michael
judge.
Jordan, and I was like, oh, Michael with a J, Michael
Yeah.
Jackson, Michael Jordan.
I think this
Just
brings
popped
up
up
a
into my
very
mind.
important point and a very important problem that we have for our modern society in America, is that the only people that we platform are celebrities or famous people or sports people. And you need people that represent goodness. You need people that represent kindness
I agree
and
with that.
knowing how to be a good person
Right.
and knowing how to deal with the
Virtuous
suffering
people
within
should be
themselves
on the pedestal.
and how to teach about that and talk about
So
that,
people
because
like monks.
otherwise, how do people know what to
People
do?
People who promote good, people who promote doing kindness in the world. I'm not saying which religion, I'm not saying what. I'm just saying people who do good, that's what people should be looking up to.
Yeah, so firstly and most importantly,
Oh, wait, real quick, not to interrupt you.
you can't run from suffering.
I will let you
course you
finish
can.
exactly what you're saying. One second. Is he here? Oh, we have a TikTok, welcome TikTok megastar, Tiags, representing Brazil in the debate. Please take a seat over here. Please take a seat over there.
Right there?
Yeah.
Okay. What's good?
We're in the middle of a debate. I know I didn't tell you
What's up?
that you were going to be coming to something like this, but welcome in.
Yeah, thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
Nice to meet you.
What's up, everybody?
So sorry, I forgot to inform you that we had this going on here.
Oh, okay.
But we have a religious debate. We have a monk from Thailand, and we have a Jewish from Los Angeles.
Nice.
So
a rabbi from Matan.
you're gonna be representing Brazil in this debate.
Okay.
Finish what you were saying.
Yeah, just that you can't run from suffering, you can't run from yourself. So being a monk is like one of the most difficult things, because you have to give up the things that even you think are difficult, but you can't give them up and define your life, like having a job or, you know, having a family or living at a particular place. And when you give these things up, all that's left is yourself. And most of the suffering that you have is with yourself. So if you can give up more things and focus on your actual experience of yourself, not just trying to give yourself more things, you'll find out that that's one of the most difficult things you can do in your life. And how you work with that and how you
Can I
change
have some
that.
of those?
Yeah, but not too many.
Are they real?
Because I give them as gifts.
Oh,
For
okay.
for like when I'm in Southeast Asia, there's a lot of like poor children, like
Are
begging
they
children.
real?
So I will give them the gifts.
Are they real?
They're right here. What do you
No,
mean?
no,
Are they
real.
real?
Like, are they real crystal?
They're real. They're here. I don't know what definition of real. I
Will
really
they
would
sell
love
for a
to
lot?
see. I've never seen anything like that. I don't know if you can. Can we see those?
Oh, the
Yeah,
chains?
yeah.
Oh,
I've
those
never
real?
seen that before.
Yeah, well, one is fake. This one's
The
fake.
real one. Can
Oh,
we
the
see?
real one.
Because I never
Real
seen
one.
before.
He's a TikTok megastar.
I believe it.
Megastar. He makes music. He's a rapper. Do you wanna?
Can't find the.
Here.
Do you know where it is?
He's a TikTok megastar.
Find it?
Wow. Wow.
Is that the real one or the fake one?
That's the real one.
Oh, really?
That's the real one.
So the real one is the smaller one.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think about this today? Cause what do you think about the podcast?
I mean, I just got here. I like the vibe. I like the energy.
You
Yes.
like the
I like the
con-
fact that
it's a
there's
sick
monk here.
sick conversation.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I check it out?
Yeah, of course, of course. Got in Miami.
In Miami?
Yeah.
Can I test it?
Yeah. But you just be careful on the like.
Here, let me see. No, I got it. I want to make sure it's real.
Yeah, I think it's the other way.
Oh, I got it.
Nice.
Throw it.
Is that a COVID?
No, we're gonna test if it's real. If it beeps, it means it's fake. Oh. That's fake.
It's fake?
93.3% is fake.
There's no way it's fake.
93.3%.
There's no way. You know how much I spend on that?
How much?
Like,
Here, let me test his watch to see if it's real or not. Nothing. Let me check again.
there's no way it's fucking fake, bro.
Yup, not real.
There's no way.
This time it's saying 96% is fake.
I spent like 67K for that.
$67,000. Sorry about the interruption. Please go on.
Yeah, so the system of Buddhism kind of emphasizes that, there's all kinds of situations like loss. We think something is real, we think something is valuable, and a lot of times that happens with our ideas and our beliefs and like how we've been living our life. We thought that it worked, we thought that it was going to work out, and then we realized that that belief or that idea was actually quite shallow and not practical. So we buy these things like very expensive jewelry, which people can do, but then we realize that that doesn't actually give us happiness or freedom. And then in some cases we find out, like it's not real or something like that. So the Buddhist teaching is that we understand that, and then we emphasize to give away what is valuable, to not attach to just something because it's pleasant or it appears to be value, and that we understand the greater value is in generosity or giving away what is precious to us, what we attach to, so that when we lose it,
So you're saying
we'll
you're
lose
giving away
everything.
materialism type of thing?
It's not to reject anything. It's more like generosity, where it's like giving a gift, or it's sharing or caring or helping. It's not that generosity is not the same as just throwing something in the trash, right? Or generosity is not that you take something that's not valuable to you and then you give it to someone. In a sense, you're giving them something, but you're not really experiencing the power of generosity, which is that you're experiencing your power to let go of something that you're holding on to. And so the more that you practice generosity and experience this power of letting go of something that you're holding on to, you can apply that to anxiety. You can apply that to depression. You can apply that to all the difficult things that you have in your life where you're tensed up around it, and you realize you can give it away. You can put it down. You can change your life through doing good deeds, through being generous, through being a kind person.
That's a good one.
But if there's a creator and there's a everything you're saying, it makes sense. But I'm saying at the end of the day, how do you know Buddhism is from a creator? Maybe God gave humanity a thing, and Buddhism is not that thing.
For myself, I don't know if I'm going to leave from this room, because it's like, we have this experience of solidity, and I guess genetically and biologically we are predisposed to feel like our life is going to continue from one moment to the next, but we've already been born, we're already alive, so what is next for a human body? At least for the body that we're so attached to and identified with? Death. And it's like, when do accidents happen? When do strokes happen? When does great calamity happen? When does the great earthquake of California happen? There's only one time that it can happen, now. So like realizing that everything is impermanent, I don't worry so much about what I believe in or what I understand. I worry about, and try not to worry about it, but see the opportunity to let go of what I get tensed around. Some idea, some belief, some, looking to the future or looking to the past. I just experience, and then I let go, and I feel more peaceful just by being with my breathing and letting go.
But if a creator gave humanity instructions on how to have a relationship, how to fulfill the purpose of life, you're basically saying, I'm just going to do my own thing. Who cares? I feel like this is the best way. Let's do it this way. What happens if there is? Like I'm saying, for Judaism, it's not a leap of faith religion. We have evidence. We have so many proofs after proofs that there's no way the Torah, the Jewish Bible, is man-made. That only the creator of the universe is given. And I'll give a couple of examples later. I'm just saying I know that when I'm following Judaism and I'm keeping the Torah and I'm keeping the mitzvot and I'm studying the Torah, whether you're Jew or a non-Jew, it doesn't matter. When you know you're living by the Torah, you know that you're doing what God wants you to do. And there must be a creator. I don't know how else this world would have gotten here, right? So all I'm trying to say is that Buddhism is nice. It has some nice teachings and nice sayings, which all, by the way, everything you're saying is in Judaism. Judaism tells books and books written on those topics you're talking about, and teachings in the Torah about those, about mental health, about, community, about having, the right mindset and the right outlook on life, and not to get caught up into the materialism. That's beautiful, beautiful teachings. But I'm saying at the end of the day, we want the indisputable truth. What is it? If there's a creator, what did he give to us? What's the purpose?
Well, like I said, I think that people don't need to believe in things to start practicing generosity. Whether it's the truth or whether it's something else, it's like, that's fine. But it says in the Bible, for example, that a faith without actions is a dead faith. So even if you're a Christian or you're a Jew or you're a Buddhist, you have to do the actions. And these are actions in such a way that you do them more and more, and you experience the effect that it works. And I always tell the young people, because I work with a lot of young people. I was on with Kai Cenat at one point. And I tell him, like, if you do good, you feel good. If you do bad, you feel bad. And good and bad here, it's not just about pleasure. Because if that was good, then heroin addicts would be like the most skillful people in the world at being good and feeling good. So goodness is not about as much about pleasure as people think it is. It's more about generosity. It's more about kindness. It's more about helping, protection, being a good person and helping the ones that are less experienced than you. Right? And protecting people and being generous and sharing and doing good deeds. Help out your parents, help out around the house, clean your room, go for a walk, listen to some people who, know what they're talking about. And for a lot of young people out there, I just want them to understand there are people who actually know what they're talking about. There are people who are actually good and just are doing what they're doing to help people, not to make money, not to get some kind of special thing for themselves, but just to help. And that they're not too hard to find if you start to look in that direction.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I wasn't clear, but Judaism is not a belief system also. It's a belief and action system, like you were saying. You have to believe in God, believe in Torah, but that's not enough. You also have to keep the mitzvot. And the mitzvot, the commandments, of what you just said, respecting your parents, honoring the elders, not speaking bad about people. There are those aspects of Judaism. Then there's tons. Again, there's 613 commandments. A lot of them have to do with how we treat other people and being a good and virtuous person. So I'm not saying you keep making the point like, oh, it's about belief. Obviously, I get what you're saying, but Judaism is belief and Judaism is action. It's a combination of both, and both are necessary. And you're basically saying, why? Who cares about belief? Just do the action. Just be a good person. But again, where's your definition of good person? How do you know what's truly good? Yeah, it's giving charity.
Not to interrupt you, I think what he's saying, just to simplify what he's saying, because you guys have been going over this.
Yeah.
Is basically he's just saying that what you're saying abides by what he says, but he's asking, how do you know if what you're saying is the correct one? Because he knows his is the correct one to him because he believes in the Jewish God. And he's saying that if you don't believe in that one, then how do you know that one is correct, unlike the heroin addict? Just to simplify what he's asking.
Yeah, and we should have like compassion for people who are suffering, regardless of who they are.
Of course.
But the point for me is that, like, even though, being a monk, that's like a very convincing thing. Like, you see a monk, you're like, whoa, they must have just come out of a forest or the temple or whatever. But for me, I'm not interested in convincing people about things or convincing people about what I believe. I'm saying that try to practice generosity in the most simple and practical way that you can and see how you feel and see how your environment changes. And then if it is in a good way, if it works, then try to do that more and more and learn through your experience. Of course, if people want to learn more, well, you're here right at this moment, so you're listening and you're learning through your experience. But otherwise, not everybody is going to become a religious person. Like, most American people are not really that religious. Even if they say they believe in God, maybe they never go to church, they never study the Bible, they don't really do anything in particular. So I'm not saying that you should be a Buddhist. I'm saying that you should try to really not, quote unquote, be a good person, but do a lot of good deeds. Do a lot of actions of generosity. Help people, care for people, listen to people. Practice mindfulness of your breathing, for example. Instead of getting lost in these non-practical, complicated stories about your life and other people and this drama and, anger and fear and greed and all this stuff, come back to your breathing, come back to the island within yourself and experience that you're okay just being the way that you are. And that is a good deed. That's a very high, powerful good deed. And you can do it any place, any time.
Right.
So maybe I lead the group in a short meditation now. Just an example. Just
you
an
guys
example.
want to meditate with him?
Very short, just an example.
If it's deep breathing, it's deep breathing.
No, I'll do it very quick. Okay. So stop what you're doing. Focus on your breathing. Seriously. Whatever way that it is, now you're training concentration. Now, with the power of your concentration, you bring your mind more to the body and like a sense of kindness in the mind to the body, and then you relax your body. And now you're relaxing your body with a mind of kindness, and you're focusing on doing that. That's a powerful, powerful way to change the quality of your mind from being hopeless and helpless to healthy and wealthy, because the real wealth is in the mind. I mean, we're in LA. Yeah, how difficult will it be to find a depressed millionaire or an anxious millionaire? Probably not too difficult, So it's like, even if you did get $1 million, even if somebody came along really, and this is a difficult thing to understand, but it's really the truth. If you, viewer at home, whoever you are, received $1 million right now, it wouldn't fix your problem. It would give you more pleasurable experiences, and it would help you avoid painful experiences. But for most people, they're already doing that all the time. So if they were just able to do that with a better car or in a different location, would that really give you freedom? No, you're doing it all the time and you don't experience freedom. So that's where from the Buddhist side, we come back to generosity. And generosity is just this starting point. It's like a key to the doorway of freedom, right? Which is something called detachment, which is like freedom from conditionality. Or even though there are thoughts, or even though you feel pain in the body, or even though you have some desire, something that you want to get, you're free. You're free to do what you like or not do what you don't like, but in the right way, in the good way, not in the selfish way. Otherwise, you can't get to that point.
And what do you think?
I think takes a lot of wisdom to say what he's saying. And
so who do you think is winning the debate?
I don't think it's even a debate.
I don't even see that as a debate.
Who do you think so far what do you think so far?
I don't think, it could be a debate. We could stay here and debate it all day. But at the end of the day, people are going to have their own beliefs. And in terms of religion or whatever people believe, I feel like people find themselves through those religions. And, some people convert, some people don't. But if it makes sense to you in your life, then that's just your life. You know what I mean?
And what do you do right now with your thing? Because you're Brazilian. You're representing Brazil here, so.
I'm representing Brazil, and I'm.
Are you Brazilian?
I'm not even Brazilian.
Oh, so I guess my research wasn't so well with you.
No, everyone thinks I'm Brazilian, but nah.
So where are you from?
I'm from Venezuela.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Yeah, it's beside Brazil.
Oh, close by?
It's like beside. It's like Brazil and then Venezuela.
Is it connected?
It's connected.
Oh, physically connected.
It's physically just touching each other.
And would you consider yourself a professional religious speaker? Like these two?
Nah.
So what compelled you to come to a religious debate?
I don't know. I mean, I was brought here, and I got the invitation, and I'm here.
Oh, you're just saying that you kind of just were told to come here and then just showed up?
And I just showed up, 'cause
Had you ever met him or him before this?
I don't know anybody.
Oh, really? You didn't meet the moderator outside?
That's the moderator?
Yeah.
Oh, nice to meet you. Yeah, I make music.
You make music?
Yeah. Dale mamá con tu tacata. Tacata. Isso tudo bem. Bye.
Wait, can we
Am I
get...
in the right room? Because I was kind of asking myself, like, if this was the right room.
What would you want to say?
I'm saying we're having a conversation. I'm trying to say, what is the truth? We're trying to figure out what is... If there's a creator, and I think everyone here agrees there's a creator, there must be a creator to this universe. What does he want us to do? And he's saying, oh, it doesn't matter about beliefs. Obviously, beliefs matter.
Well, can I ask two questions?
How do you answer the question?
Can I ask two questions here?
Yeah.
First, we'll start off with a quick one. What did you think about what he said?
He's a good rapper, Nestor. I like your rapping skills, and I like your outfits. Nice.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
I like your style.
Thanks, man.
Very clean.
Thanks.
You know?
Appreciate it.
Not a lot of people know how to dress clean.
Thanks. You too.
And then finish
I like
what you were
that.
saying. I apologize about that.
I'm just saying, want to know if God exists. How do you know Christianity, Islam? Maybe those are from God.
Yeah, that's actually
How
a
do you
good
know-
question
how
I
do you
wanted
know
to ask.
Judaism's
How
from-
do you know that Judaism has the evidence from God according to you, but you don't think that Christianity is correct, even though they believe they have the evidence from God? And Muslim people think they have it. So how do you know that you're right and they're all wrong?
Okay, so again,
You can, because in this one, you can just use the same argument you've been using against
so
him.
beautiful, great question.
So it will
Because,
become more interesting.
again, I'll say for Buddhism, even in the book, in Indisputable Truth, we talked about Buddhism.
In your book?
Yeah, we have a section on it, and Buddhism really is just it's a nice, teachings, but there's no really truth to it in the sense of, obviously be generous, that's obvious, that the Torah says that, the Bible says that, it's not anything new. I'm saying in the sense of like, are you doing what the creator of the universe wants for you? Maybe the creator of the universe doesn't want you to meditate in the mountain all day. Maybe he wants you to, do other stuff, be involved with the world, get people to be more moral. Look at them.
But how do you know that that's...
What if that's his calling, though?
Yeah.
How can you argue that?
He's not saying to do that. He's saying be generous, be good, but I'm just saying... From what I know about Buddhism, Buddhism's more about going to the mountain, running away from suffering, running away from the problems, and just being to yourself.
Is that true?
Well, like I said, you cannot run away from yourself, and that's kind of what goes along with the money. Like, even if someone gave you $1 million, you would still have to deal with yourself. And what most everyone has been trained to do up to this point is like try to have more pleasurable experiences on Netflix or Uber Eats or whatever, video games. It's not like that's bad. Just do it in a wholesome way. Don't do it in an evil way.
But what's good and evil? Where are you getting your definitions? What's good? What's evil? How are you defining
What's
it?
good?
Is giving? You said be generous. If I give $1 million to the Nazis during the time of the Holocaust, is that generous?
Well, we have to be practical because mostly we're on our own. So if we're using definitions from like outside about what is good and what's bad, it's not going to help
So you're
us
saying
much.
rely on what you think is good and bad.
No, you learn through your experience. If what you're doing is good, it reduces suffering in people. It brings benefit to yourself and others in the logical way, and not like you throw. I don't believe in any religion that says, hey, wait a minute, you have to be like a fool now, and then you have to start believing in this. Like, use your common sense. Not everybody is Hitler. Not most people aren't evil people. We are natural to be good. We're natural to help each other. We're natural to listen. We're natural to have empathy. If our dear friend feels happiness, wow, we feel happiness too. If our dear friend feels a lot of suffering in themselves, we feel that too. And so doing good means that we're trying to help and be good.
So if someone
And
feels
goodness
good-
is not this shallow term, right?
Yeah.
And it's like we minimize virtue, we minimize generosity, we minimize being a good person and doing good deeds, when that's one of the most beneficial things that we can do in our entire lives. It's like everybody says, okay, I've got to work at McDonald's. I've got to work at Walmart so that I can have a horrible apartment somewhere. Well, what is so great about that? And then you identify with some religion in particular. But what's a lot better than that, is being a good person, doing good deeds, generating happiness, generating goodness within yourself.
But again, if someone feels good, and that takes away the suffering of, for example, like, being mean to other people. So then you're going to say, okay.
That's not goodness, because I just said, I just explained that.
Yeah.
If you're doing something good and it's harming someone or it's about harming someone, then that's not good.
Who made that definition of being good?
Who made the definition of this napkin? It is what it is. You can give it all kinds of definitions, but it is what it is already.
A napkin is an object. It has a purpose. We're talking about theoretical things right now. We're talking about.
In what world was the purpose of this napkin that was not known to exist on this white table before? In what world was this purpose for this napkin to become a snowflower? How can you imagine like that? This is an expression of cause and effect. Right? So how did this napkin become a snowflower? Because it was created or made for this purpose? It's a cause and effect.
The designer created for whatever purpose he made it for, yeah. But you're saying what's good, what's bad. I'm saying be generous, be virtuous. I'm saying that. But I'm just saying is because you're saying that Buddhism is really man-made religion. Do you agree to that?
Well, there's no such thing as man-made, because there's no such thing as a man separate from a woman.
I mean, okay, fine. I'm sorry. That's not, obviously I'm not trying to be a thing.
Did Buddhism come from everything? Well, yeah.
No, it came from a human being.
But a human being doesn't come from nothing. A human being also comes from everything. A human being is a continuation and a part of everything.
What does that mean?
It's like
I think what he's saying is that you're saying that Buddhism is a man-made religion, but I think what he's saying is that hypothetically, according to you, if a human is not man-made, then neither is the religion. He's saying it's just cause and effect. Like if human is not man-made, then them creating something is not man-made. It's just creation of the thing they created. It's all. I think he's saying it's all kind of a thing together. Now he's meditating.
In Buddhism,
he just
we
went
believe.
To sleep for a second.
No. Hey, wait a minute. I want to say this because. Actually, because actually we can go deep into ourselves with awareness and with kindness and with presence when we close our eyes, So it's not just about going to sleep or like being dull.
Sleeping?
No. I was bright and aware.
I thought you were taking power nap.
No. Power meditation. Power self-reflection. Turn the mind to examine itself at this present moment. And then you get a lot of energy from that. That's a matter of cause and effect.
Oh, you've tried power naps?
I love power naps.
Do you take power naps?
Do you agree?
No.
Do you agree?
Sometimes it happens naturally.
Do you agree Siddhartha Gautama is the one who established Buddhism? Who started it? Do you agree to that or no?
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
He started it. Who's the founder of this cult or religion, whatever we like to call it?
Well,
Siddhartha Gautama.
You're claiming it's a cult?
I mean, it's not really religion because there's no really connection to God. It has nothing to do with God. But okay, whatever you want to call it. I don't know the definition.
You threw like a little bit of salt out of it.
Also,
no,
I'm just saying.
Okay, you could call it a religion. I'm just saying, is it created by him? He's the one who experienced nirvana. And he's the one who taught the teachings of the Buddha. That's Buddhism? No, that's man-made. That's coming from a human being.
Everything. Use the word everything. And widen out and brighten out the mind. Instead of constriction around one idea, one topic, one sensation in the body, or one experience in your life, use the word everything.
What is it?
Widen out, brighten out the mind. It's a practice rather than thinking about things. The more that you think about things, the better you will be at thinking about things. The more you practice doing good deeds, the more you practice generosity.
That's going around the question.
There's no going around. There's just this moment. It's like someone has a stroke after you ask them a question. And then you say, you're trying to get out of this. Well, no, they're not. They had a stroke. Everything is changing each and every moment. So you have to go with the flow. And you can't go back and say...
the flow? So forget history, forget the future?
It means you can't go back and say, wait a minute, it's already happening now. It's happening now again and again and again and again. And it's not about being respected or disrespected or that this is absolutely right or this is absolutely wrong. It's just that certain things work and certain things don't. That's it.
Again, but there's no evidence, no scientific evidence, no logical evidence for Buddhism being divine. It's
Well, what is divine? Why do
divine
things
means
happen? Why do things have to be divine?
Because
Why
there's
can't
obviously a
life
creator,
just be-
infinite creator to the universe.
Why
and he
can't-
didn't create the universe for no reason. There must be a purpose.
Well, I think that's a lot of people have that idea, and that's okay. But it doesn't mean that everyone has to have that idea. It's
What do you
just
mean?
like,
If there's a creator, what do you mean? Oh, one person believes in God, one person doesn't believe in God. No, if there's a God, there's a God, and the atheist is wrong. And if there's no God, the believer is wrong.
well, what
there-
I'm saying though is that just because one person believes in something or focuses on something in particular, that's up to them.
You're right, that's
Right,
up to them.
what
But
it
if you're
says,
bringing evidence for being a God, that means that applies to everybody. You know, if there's a God, there's a God.
If you're a Buddhist, are you atheist?
No. Buddhism, no. Buddhism
But I'm just
is
saying
not
that the
related
religion
to
Are
doesn't
you
atheism.
have
atheist
any.
guy?
The religion
You're a religious
doesn't.
guy?
The religion doesn't have any substance. There's no substance to it. It's just nice teachings that
What is-
anybody could have came up with and said, yeah, be a good person. You know, that's obvious. That's common sense. That's logic. I'm talking about okay, there's a creator. He gave a document to humanity. For example, I could give you proofs and scientific evidence that there's no way the Torah is made by human beings. And I could go through Christian, Islam, and obviously, I'm not saying Christian Muslims are bad, God forbid. I'm just saying, though, as a Jew, I could show you that there's no way they're making the claim that their religion is from God, that these religions can't be. For example, Christianity. Christianity makes the claim that...
Well, real quick, before you go on.
Yeah.
I tried to get a Christian guy here
Yeah.
to debate, but I didn't get one. So I don't want you to just start, test his saying why you don't think it can be real for this or that one. I don't have somebody here to get you on it.
Okay, so I'll talk about Judaism. How about that?
Well, let's stick with Judaism and the Buddhism and then whatever is Venezuelan or whatever that one is.
Okay, so I'll give you a nice proof for Judaism, right? It says in the Torah that it talks about the Torah in Leviticus and Vayikra.
What does it say?
It says that there's one animal in the world that has only split hooves and doesn't chew its cud. The Torah says this is the animal.
Okay.
Every other animal that has chew cuds and split hooves, right? Whatever that split hooves means, completely split hoof, not like a horse hooves, whatever.
Like on the leg,
Yeah,
the foot?
on the foot.
Okay.
And then whatever chews its cud. So a cow would be kosher. Those are kosher animals that have the two signs: split hoof and chews its cud.
So you're talking
a
about-
cow-
Is it okay I take a restroom break?
Sure.
I'll be right back.
Let's continue. You finish what you're saying.
So Judaism. So what I'm saying is that, in order to eat kosher, right, you have to have the two signs: split hoof and chew. The Torah says, but be careful. There's one animal that only has split hooves but doesn't chew its cud. And this is the only animal in the world that has that. And this was written 3,300 years ago in the Torah. You could see it in the book of Leviticus, Vayikra. And to this day, this is written thousands and thousands of years ago.
Okay.
To this day, we never found an animal besides a pig. The Torah says the pig is the only animal. Besides for a pig that has split hooves and doesn't chew its cud.
Okay.
So I have a question. If a human being's writing the Torah, why would it ever make
Oh,
it
you're
write
saying
something
that that's proof because it came true?
No, not that what I'm saying is that if a human being, if I'm trying to make up a new religion, right? I'm not going to write something that one day someone's going to bring an animal besides a pig that has split hooves and doesn't chew its cud, and they're going to show you, wow, see, look, this disprove your religion. The person who wrote the Torah, if it's a person, quote unquote, obviously it's from God, only the being who created all the animals in the world knows that this is the only animal in the world that has split hooves and doesn't chew its cud. I'll give you another example.
No, let's let the monk come back in and
Wait,
say-
before he comes, I'm just saying another similar example.
Because listen, I can argue you both ways. I can be contrarian,
Yeah.
agree with you, but I don't want to get involved in the debate. I just am one
I mean,
moderator here.
he's not really, he's a great guy and everything, but he's not really like bringing any evidence for truth to.
But you're not
anything.
bringing evidence either. I mean,
I'm bringing truth. What do you mean? I just gave you evidence.
Well,
There's no
that-
way the
well-
Torah could be written by a human. That's
well,
one out of many proofs.
it's like it can be seen as evidence, but he might not see that as evidence.
I know, but I don't know if
He
he's
might decide that his evidence to him is more valuable
But he
than
doesn't.
yours.
He's not even claiming to have any evidence. Buddhism has no evidence.
Well, you have to say that to him. You can't argue with me about that.
I know. I said it for the past hour. He wasn't. I don't know. He just kept going around the question. Not in a bad way. I'm just saying. Like.
You think he was ducking your question?
I mean, he just wasn't answering it.
Well, let's when he comes back, let's let him answer. And what do you think? Because you're I don't forget where you're from. You're from somewhere. Here.
Beside Brazil.
Just talk. It'll pick up on you.
Beside Brazil.
And over there, it's you guys have food over there, water.
For some point in time, we didn't, cause the government, they have their issues.
no good.
No good, but it's getting better. So now we have food and water.
Did you want to take a sip of that?
Do you have water actually?
Yeah, for me. But For
Oh.
you, it's diet, root beer, no zero sugar,
Shit.
and W.
Nah, I'm good. Thank you.
No, but it's 0 calories.
No, I'm very careful of what I put in my body.
What does that mean?
Like I got a diet.
You have a diet?
Yeah.
That's not that's not part of it?
No, it's not part of the diet.
He's back. Well, let's update him on your statement against him. Who do you like more, him or him? The fit, the clothing.
Damn, that's a tough one.
Depends on what metrics you're using, right?
I like the peacefulness of, you know? Oh shit.
I think it's a camera issue.
Okay, continue what I was saying before.
Oh, yeah, throw it to me. I'll open it for him. Shit, I'm choking on the water. I'm good. Sorry about that.
Is there a way to get a?
He didn't drink. Oh, you don't want to drink.
Is there a way to get a?
Can you tell me?
But do you want to give him? Sorry, I apologize.
The ice.
I'm sorry about that.
The ice.
You want it?
I'm good now. I choked on it. I tried taking a sip, but I felt kind of bad from.
Could I use this?
What do you need it for?
This.
Oh, you want to just?
Yeah.
I apologize about taking your water.
I'm just gonna
It's okay.
keep it. Yeah. 'Cause
Okay, guys, let's go back to the conversation. The conversation
Okay, let's
is.
go back. He said that Buddhism. I don't know. I forgot.
I was saying-
Here, let me
that
get him a
he's
water.
avoiding the evidence.
Yeah, I was just trying to say that if I want to follow something in my life, right? I don't want to go on blind faith. Okay, maybe Buddhism has nice teachings, but if you're not bringing me any evidence that I know this is for sure from the creator universe, because I don't care. Okay, man said nice things. There's so many people write so many nice self-help books, and they say nice things that make your life better. Fine, not to be stressed, not to judge other people. Who cares about what other people say? Just focus on yourself. Don't be jealous of other people. Everyone has different skills and talents. Yeah, every there's so many books on those topics. But now I'm just trying to say is how do you know if what you got is really divine? It's from the creator of the universe. Because I'm just saying for myself personally, I only care what the creator of the universe has to say. The creator of the universe defines what's good and bad. The creator of the universe, is the one to tell me the psychology of people, how to be a good husband, how to raise kids, how to be truly happy and successful, right? That's what Judaism teaches. How do you truly be happy? What's happiness? You're saying, oh, happiness is, avoiding suffering or whatever, or getting to the state of mind where there's no more suffering. Yeah, but that's one idea of happiness. But there's some people still they're still doing that way and they're still not happy. But all I'm saying is, if the creator of the universe gave something, he gave a book to humanity, that's the book I want to follow. You can follow whatever teachings you like, but I'm trying to go with what God gave, because God's the ultimate truth. And I was saying that Judaism is not like any other religion, which is all on blind faith. Judaism actually has evidence that no way a human being could have written it, and then you can know for sure it's from the creator of the universe. And I was saying the proof, for example, I'll give you another proof. It says in the Torah that in order to eat kosher fish, what do you need? Fins.
I don't remember.
and
I'm not a
scales.
religious guy like that.
Yeah. So it says fins and scales.
Okay, what is
And the Torah tells you that.
Okay.
The Torah says that every fish. This is written thousands of years ago, right? That every fish that has scales must have fins.
Okay.
Meaning you'll never find a fish that has scales and no
Oh, and
fins.
you're saying that's evidence of the Torah?
Now wait,
Well, we have to let
3,300
him
years
respond
later.
because you made a claim against him.
I know. I'm saying going over the proof, right? I'm going over what I was saying before.
Okay.
All I'm trying to say is that this was written thousands of years ago, and to this day, we never found a fish that has scales but no fins. Because the Torah said no, every scale, God wrote in the Torah, the creator of the universe, who knows all the fish. And have this in mind, there's the world is 80% water.
Okay.
The ocean goes miles and miles deep. I don't think if someone, God forbid, made the Bible, like a human being, what, you think the guy, he investigated, he went with a submarine down all the way and checked for every single sea creature?
What do you think about that?
How can someone make such a claim and thing? Only the creator of all the fish. And like I was saying before about the proof of the pig. Only the creator of...
Yeah, well, I just want to let him respond.
Yeah, I mean, people have a lot of beliefs about things, and
This is not a belief. This is evidence. How can a human being know that? That shows that no way a human being could have
whether
written
it's
the book.
like in science, for example, it's like we have the theory of the fact of evolution and all the evidence, etc.
You believe we came from monkeys?
No, I'm saying that even that is just a theory. So as more evidence comes along, you can find out other things. And it's always like that with everything. So whatever workable model you have to help you to focus on doing good deeds and being mindful, coming back to the present moment and not being so stressed about your life, then do that and do it more and really follow through with that and practice it. And don't just make it like about a belief or about debating about things
Again,
or
but belief
convincing other
determines
people about
actions.
it or convincing other people about it, but practicing, and practice to do good.
So you need it again. If you have to have a belief system in order to determine what's good and bad. So you're saying, who cares about the belief system? What do you mean? The belief system is the most important thing. Obviously, you need action. You need to be good. You need to act upon it.
Not to
But you
interrupt,
need
can I say
both.
something real quick?
Yeah.
I feel like we've been stuck on this topic for a little while.
Yeah.
Like it's been a while of this topic. Not saying
Yeah.
you're right, he's right, whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
I think maybe we'll need to let's move
more
on to something
questions.
else because it's like
Can I give one more proof? One more proof.
we already went over a bunch of them. That's what
We did two. Let's do one more and
well,
then we'll
one more-
finish with that.
I
yeah?
think the only reason I don't want to is because if you do one more, it's going over the same point. I think your point is already established.
Okay.
All right, let's do another one. Let's go to another one. A different question. What punishment do you think stoning people would be acceptable for?
I don't think that the answer to people's mistakes or whatever you want to call it, their evil, is to harm them. I think it's that nobody needs to be punished. People need to be helped. And once again, this isn't something where we say, "Oh, no common sense." Let's put people who want to kill people in a room with tons of people. It has nothing to do with that. It's just like if you look at the American prison system, if you look at a system that's based on punishing and harming people because of their mistakes, largely related to the environment that they grew up in and the conditions of the society, that's not a system that I want to be a part of. It's not a system I want to support.
So you don't want to stone people?
If we look at the Netherlands,
What-
for example, if you look at you throw stones until they die.
You throw stones
If
until
you look,
I'm not saying this.
Yeah.
I'm not saying what. I'm not saying to stone a murder. I'm not saying
well, I
to do
want to
that.
finish
Do you
this
want to stone a
point.
murderer?
No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying what would you do in your system for murderers who want to go chase and kill people?
Well, that's what I was going to say. I love the system that the Netherlands have, where
Yeah.
they're really focused on rehabilitation, they're focused on compassion, they're
Yeah, of
focused
course.
on protecting the community and educating people and kind of getting to like the root cause of why someone would want to do horrible things. Because happy people don't hurt people. And you brought up the examples of Hitler, I guess because you're a Jew. And so you're talking about Hitler and how evil he was, etc. Well, Hitler was not a peaceful person. He was not a happy person. He was addicted to methamphetamines. He was deeply unstable. And because of that great suffering within him, he caused a lot of suffering in the world. So I think one of the best things that we can do as religious leaders is to help people to suffer less. And if they believe in a certain system or not, the practices of that system that lead to the betterment of those people to be more peaceful, to be more happy, etc., are really what the essential work of a religious leader is.
So you don't think we should stone people for eating the tail of a pig or nothing?
I think that
Or a murder.
veganism has a lot of good points, but firstly we have to address childism. And childism
No,
is
but
one of the
yes-
very important things.
If you had to give a yes or no answer, do you think we should stone people?
Probably not.
What about you? Should we stone people?
No.
Okay. Let's move on to another question. Because you guys agreed on that one for the most part.
You're right. I think the prison systems are off here because they just punish people, but they don't work on actually taking. Like for example, you have someone's sick, right? And like something's wrong with, they have a broken leg and they're taking Advil. You're just masking the symptoms. You're not fixing the root of the problem. So that's what he's saying. I think that's common sense. Yeah.
100? What does it say? It says it's probably not real gold or nothing. That's like a metal detector.
What's your next question?
Oh, okay. Let's move on to the next question. Because you guys agreed on that one. That's why I wanted to move on from that other one, because it was just circles.
I know because I'm
Okay,
just...
well, whether you blame him or he blamed...
It's
I'm
not
it
blame.
was
I
circles.
just think it's not like Buddhism doesn't really have a claim to...
All right, regardless,
Yeah.
let's just move on. Do you guys believe that Herobrine is real?
What? What's here? What did you say?
Do you believe him?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the brine of heroes and the brine of goodness is something extremely valuable.
That's not what I'm
Yeah, can
referring
you
to.
explain what you just said?
Hero brine.
What is that?
Do you know Minecraft?
I think
Trinity.
that we should try to become heroes of goodness, heroes of mindfulness, heroes of coming back to the present moment and learning how to walk, just walk with happiness, with our breathing, in the present moment, in nature, and learn how to regulate our emotions through those kinds of practices. Even though you're stressed, even though your Minecraft world got deleted by your grandpa on your, Windows PC, you go for a walk and you come back to your breathing and you experience the peace of just being in nature and walking. And you learn how to be a friend to yourself. You develop loving kindness towards yourself, towards your heart, towards your mind.
Good. Sounds.
You agree with that?
Yeah. What is he saying? That's not common sense.
Well, I'm saying, so you believe that Herobrine's real?
I don't know what even Herobrine is. Is that Minecraft? Is that the thing that created Minecraft?
No, it's the one guy in Minecraft with the. Do you play Minecraft?
I was a kid.
Do you know Steve?
No.
He's the guy you play as, the blue shirt, those pants. It's him with no eyes or something. His eyes go white.
Yeah.
So some people believe that he was real, and some people believe that he wasn't real, because some people thought it was a glitch, but some people thought it was like a mod, like a hack or something.
Yeah.
Or some people saw that the developers put it into the game.
Yeah.
And some people think that Herobrine is real.
Do you think he's real?
I don't know enough about it to speak on it.
Okay, that's a good answer. Welcome TikTok Megastar Tiags. No, we already went over that. I guess this is kind of similar to the last question. This goes for both of you. Are people in your religion allowed to play video games like World of Warcraft?
Yeah, we can play video games, but we play video games. This is actually a really important thing, right? So let's think about violent video games like Helldivers or Halo 3.
Right.
If you're playing Helldivers or you're like playing Halo 3 and you're shooting people, right? So you're not killing people, right? And so you could be doing that in a way where your mind was very peaceful, where you were just relaxed, and that was a way that you relaxed and calmed down. Is it like having a good thing to put those images in your mind? Maybe it's not the best thing, but it's not inherently a horribly bad thing. Now, if you were playing Mario Kart or you were playing Super Jubilee on the GameCube or Bajubum, you would find out, right, that you could become very stressed and very angry playing Mario Kart or Bajumum on the GameCube. And if you're doing something like that and you're stressing yourself out and you're getting yourself worked up, well, you have to stop doing that, because you're going to get upset and you're going to create these patterns of upsetness inside of yourself. So you don't want to do that. So it's more important even though the games are different, one's violent or dangerous or evil, and the other one is just Baba Lajba or Kirby's Super Adventure on the GameCube,
is that what
whatever
game
it might
is
be. Kirby can absorb like cranberry and then become a cranberry Kirby, or can absorb AW0 sugar.
Is
and
that
then
a video game, or that's like
that's
a
the
religion?
premise of Kirby.
So it's not a religion?
I don't think that anyone has control over what a religion can be or can't. If someone wanted to start a Kirby-based A&W absorption religion, then they could.
Oh, so some people think Kirby is like a god. He's like a godlike figure.
I think that people can believe in all kinds of different things.
Okay.
So just believing in something is fine, but that's just is what it is. It's like you have a thought that's very, very real for you. Well, okay, it's real, it's true, it's not true, it's not real ultimately, whatever, but it's just a thought. So let it go.
Minecraft. What do you think?
So the question was, what did you say on video games?
I know. I asked if people in your religion can play video games like World of Warcraft.
So what's World of Warcraft?
It's a game for the laptop.
It's like shooting people, killing people.
No, I don't think there's guns, but it's like killing monsters.
Okay, I'll tell you. Listen,
You can make gold and sell the gold on eBay for real money.
So I'll tell you, with any type of content, if the content has negative influence, then no matter, even if you're just playing it and you don't really like care about, like whatever, you're not making a big deal about it, it's gonna subconsciously affect you, whatever. But that's a side point. But again, like let's say, okay, it's not such a bad game. I don't know. Let's say you're playing Super Mario Bros. Or whatever it is. I don't know.
That one is okay.
Whatever game it is, I don't know. A game that's
But
not.
Super Mario, he's stomping on those brown guy, so maybe
Whatever.
people would consider him a murderer or a racist.
Whatever, games like that. Again, if a guy's spending his whole day just playing video games, like, what do you have a purpose, you have a mission to do in this world. Like, why, like, yeah.
Oh, you're saying he's wasting time playing video
Meaning,
games.
if you're just playing a little bit of a part of the day because you want to get your energy out, you just had a long day and whatever, fine, it's not a big deal. But if you're just spending your whole day doing that, you're missing on life. Like, there's things to do. God wants you to be your best self. God wants you to work to get close to have a relationship.
There is some true point about that, because of course it's like, let kids be kids, let them play games and stuff, leave them alone. Well, help them, spend time with them, nourish them, help them to develop. But ultimately, if you're just spending all your time playing video games, that's not going to turn into a very meaningful life ultimately.
You're just escaping.
So focus on helping people also, doing good deeds also, not just playing video games. But it's okay if you do like that too.
These
just
things
don't
are
do like
basically
that.
escaping reality. People a lot of times use it, instead of using it as an outlet, an hour or two, whatever, or however many minutes per day, they use it as an escape.
Well, we have to learn how to leave people alone, and we also need to learn how to help people. And those are the two big important points in how we interact with each other. It's like sometimes we just need to take a rest, let it be, don't put on judgments. And then sometimes we need to like get involved in helping each other, otherwise that person maybe end their own life. I looked at a statistic recently, 12 people every day end their own life in America from 24 and under.
Only 12 people end their lives a day?
A day.
I would imagine it to be a lot more.
What if it was you? But 3,000 people, more than 3,000 people attempt to end their own life every day in America. So it's like, it's a serious thing. If we don't work on our mental health, if we don't work on what we do to take care of ourselves, then, it gets to a really serious situation. Probably a lot of people who've watched this have heard about some kid in their school that took their own life.
Really?
It's not uncommon.
What do you think about that?
Well, about what he said?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense what he's saying, yeah.
So you think people should or shouldn't end their life?
Of what?
Should they end their lives?
Actually, to end your life is like, God put you for a mission, you say, God, I'm out. I don't want to do the mission. Like, obviously that's a horrible thing.
The cameras.
Huh?
The heat got to the cameras, maybe.
What do you think? What do you mean?
Sometimes the heat gets so much the camera has to take a break.
Yo, I'm gonna head out. This was a very beautiful podcast.
You have to go?
Yes.
It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, take care.
Thanks for coming. I appreciate
thank
it.
you.
I really
feel
appreciate
like I provided a lot of value.
Yes.
This was great. Thank you.
I really appreciate it. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. This was amazing.
Alright guys, welcome back. I apologize for the cut. We had to let the TikTok megastar out of the building. We usually lock the gate so they're unable to leave until we let them out. Let's continue. I'll ask a new question since I feel like we all kind of forgot a little bit what topic we were on. So let me find a new one. And this one unfortunately can't involve the last guy because he had to leave. This is an interesting one. What happens after you die and what do you think is going to happen to the other person? Let's start off with the monk.
Well, sometimes people ask a question like that, and I said, when you die, give me a call and let me know. And so the point is that we firstly have to understand what life is like, and we have to look more deeply at our lives and look more deeply at what it means to be a human being and what it means to take care of our mental action, our physical action, and our verbal action. Because ultimately, if you're just only watching Netflix and getting Uber Eats and playing video game or what have you, not that any of that is inherently bad or wrong, but how do you really know about yourself? How do you know about the depths of which life can be experienced? So that's my position.
But what do you think will happen to him after he dies?
This person, what happens to them after they die? Well, I guess this brings up an even deeper question. So like, what is the self? Like, what is the nature of you being separate from everything? What is that? Because if we were to look from an ecological point of view, a scientific point of view, I don't exist separate from the environment. I and the environment are, right? And it's not to say that all are one or some spiritual thing like that, but it's really like that. Like my body or myself, right here, it depends on the oxygen in the room. It depends on this situation, because what person am I if not for Matan being here with me right now, and for this Jewish rabbi being here with me right now? I don't even know what rabbi means necessarily.
Teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or teacher?
Teacher. Someone who teaches Torah.
There you go.
Do you think he's gonna go to hell after he dies?
Okay, it's a great question. You have to understand the background what hell is. Judaism is unlike Christianity. Don't ever look at Christianity and use
No,
that
but
to
not.
compare Judaism.
Let's just go.
Hell
with
is not the
Judaism.
same thing as that. First, let's understand what the purpose of life, and this will answer the question. The purpose of life, Judaism says, is that God is the ultimate good. He's an infinite being. He's omnipotent, all powerful, and He created the universe to give His ultimate good, the ultimate pleasure. And the ultimate pleasure, not physical pleasure, but pleasure of being connected to Him. Greater than all the physical pleasures combined in the universe from the first man till now, billions of people. If you combine all that, it's not equal to 1 second of being close to God, of having that pleasure of being close to God. That's a spiritual pleasure. And God says, what is heaven? Heaven is that place that this world is a test. This way, the Torah says this world is a...
I see what you're saying.
Wait. This world is a hallway to the next world.
Okay.
This world is God putting us
Do you
in a
think
challenge.
his hallway will lead him to hell or heaven?
Wait, listen.
Okay.
This
Sorry for
world-
interrupting.
No, it's okay. Just if I say the whole thing, you understand the whole question. So this world is a challenge zone. It's like a quote unquote a game. Let's say a video game, right? You have to earn, do good, right, and avoid bad, avoid the negative. So let's put it in like bank account terms. Be positive, like make money, but don't lose money. And meaning, what does that mean? Do the positive, do acts of kindness, charity, keeping the commandments between us and God and God and man, right? And avoiding the negative, not to steal, not to kill, not to speak bad about people, right? By doing that and God gives us a bunch of challenges and situations that test us in those things, test us with our relationship with other people, test us with our relationship with our parents, whatever it is. Once we do those things, that earns us our relationship with God. And that earns us the ultimate pleasure. So what's hell?
Okay.
Hell is the opposite of heaven. Just like heaven is the greatest pleasure, hell is the ultimate state of shame, the ultimate state of, being disconnected from God. It's like discomfort. It's put it like this way, and hell is like a washing machine, meaning what? That even hell...
Can you go from hell to heaven in Judaism?
Yes. So God, what's hell? If someone couldn't perfect himself and work on himself in this world and get to that stage of fixing his, learning the Torah, studying the instruction manual to life, keeping the commandments, the mitzvot, the ones between us and God, between us and other people, and working on his bad character traits, if you couldn't do that in this world and he's not complete, so what is hell? Hell is that place that, okay, you didn't clean yourself, you still have stains on your garment. Hell is that place where it's like that, it's painful in the sense of like, oh, I didn't accomplish that, but it's that dry cleaning. But once you do dry cleaning, okay, the clothing is good. You have heaven, right? So hell is
you're
like
saying that going in hell, it's like, are you physically spinning in circles?
No, obviously it's a spiritual place. It's not physical. It's not like the Christians say where it's pitchforks and whatever.
You're in a mental...
I don't even say mentally because mentally is also physical. It's a spiritual world. It's above our comprehension. The only way I can explain
Can I
it to you...
see it?
No, it's not physical.
You don't have any videos?
No.
Okay. So, but
the point I'm
regardless, will he go to hell? That was the question.
So if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, meaning connecting to God. So if you're a non-Jew, there's 7 things you got to do in this world.
What are
Not
they?
to kill, not to steal, not to do animal cruelty, right? Believing the
Why number 3?
Animal cruelty?
Well, what if
There's
it's
7 laws that God gave to the humanity.
But what
called
if
the
it's
7 laws
what
of
if it's
Noah.
not a dog or a cat or a bird and he starts to become like an ant? What if I want to step on him?
So it depends in that case.
Oh, then it's
there's-
allowed?
Don't do
there's
that. Don't
obviously-
do that.
Don't step on ants?
No.
There's
Because
obviously-
they also alive. They want to live.
So there's
But
obviously...
it's
So
but
you-
I like
So the commandments have subcategories. That's called halachot, the laws, right?
Okay.
So for example, an animal, you can never do that, put the animal. But an ant, if the fly or ant is bothering you and it's causing you to not fulfill your purpose in life, then if you could get it out of the room, shoot, like, let's say get a paper, put it out,
That's
fine,
allowed?
do that. If not, then okay.
I like that.
Then you could, then obviously, like, it's an ant, whatever. Don't make it suffer. Don't trap it in, like, a freezer and make it suffer or whatever, right? Like
No,
some people
I
do.
wouldn't want to
But
do
I'm
that.
just saying,
I'm just saying,
if it's preventing you, if a mosquito is going to give you a bite and you're going to get a disease from it, then obviously you're
No, I'm not saying something where you're defending yourself.
But I'm just saying if you could let it out of the room without doing that, then fine, that's the best thing to do. But putting that to the side, that's like the side point. The point I'm trying to say is there's a purpose to life, and that's to get close to God. This world's a test, this world's a challenge. And Jews have 613 things they need to do, categories of things.
613?
Yes. Obviously, whatever, there's details, whatever, you could search out online if you want more details. And the non-Jews have the 7. The 7 are what? Not to kill, not to steal, not to commit acts of immorality, and not to do animal cruelty, not to curse God, to believe God, and have to have court systems, follow the laws of the court society. So if a non-Jew keeps that,
Can I ask
then
you a
he's a
question?
righteous person.
Let me ask you a question.
If a Jew doesn't keep the 613, he's a not righteous person. That's it.
Let me ask you a question. So if he doesn't believe in the Jewish God, he will go to hell?
So you're missing the. How can you have a relationship to the infinite when you don't even believe in the infinite?
Okay, I'm not asking whether it's right or wrong. I'm just
So
asking
you're
if
trying
that's
to
what you're
trying to
saying.
say that you're trying to say again. There's 7
No,
things you
I'm
need
just asking a question. I'm
There's
not trying to make
again,
any point here.
So I give you the formula. There's 7 things you need to believe in. So you have to have a relationship with God.
So if he doesn't, he will go to hell.
The Jewish hell, meaning that you lost your relationship with him. For eternity, you're gonna be distant from him because you don't have that relationship with him.
Okay, so you're saying that he will go to hell though. I'm not trying to put,
So
I'm just trying to simplify
So I'll
it.
tell you the options. So one, if a person dies, there's a couple options. One is to go to heaven.
Okay.
If someone's righteous enough and they fix themselves in this world, they go straight to heaven.
Okay.
Again, heaven is that ultimate pleasure of being close
Right,
to God.
okay.
It's not eating, drinking food. It's none of that. It's not physical. That's nonsense. Physical is 2 seconds. It can't be bound by space and time because it's not finite. It's infinite, right? So that's that. Then, if someone wasn't righteous enough and he couldn't do it, or he was lacking in some of the mitzvah of the commandments, so then he goes to hell and then he goes to heaven. But again, hell meaning not the Christian hell. Hell meaning he has to do that suffering. We say from the physical standpoint, it's 1 year of earthly time, and in the next world it could be however long, right? Time and space is different in this world than the next. Whatever this, it's a waiting period that they have to get that pain of not being connected to God, and then if they're right, and if they still did good deeds, they could go to heaven.
Why-
And
Okay.
if they're not under that category, the options are something called reincarnation. God gives.
Oh, you
there's-
believe in reincarnation?
I believe Judaism.
I was
believes.
about to
Judaism-
ask because one Jewish guy, this is for real. He told me that if you're not a Jewish, you might turn into an apple.
So I'll tell you the options.
Is that possible?
There's 4 types of
Can you turn into an
reincarnations.
apple?
Listen, yeah, I'll tell you.
Oh.
There's 4 types of reincarnation. There's human reincarnation. That's every single one of us. We are all reincarnations. We didn't pass our test. Instead of God maybe sending us to hell, instead of God making us miss out on heaven and being on a lower level, He's giving us another chance to come back into the world and work on ourselves. So how do you know what you need to work on? Whatever's hard for you. If you're an angry person, if you're a stingy person, if you're a jealous person, if you don't respect your parents, whatever it is, right? And God said, I'm giving you another chance. That's human reincarnation. There's certain things a person can do that's so bad that he could, get reincarnated as an animal, or he could get reincarnated as a plant or an inanimate
apple?
object. So is a plant, depending on what it is. But again, most of the time,
What if he?
God doesn't.
me
God
ask you a question, let me ask you a
reincarnates us
question,
back
let me ask
into
you a
human
question.
beings because He wants to give us
Let me-
another chance.
let me ask you a question.
God's not. Wait. God is not out to get us.
No,
People
I know.
think
I'm just asking a
It's not like
question.
Christianity.
I know, but I just don't want.
God's here to give us
we
the
need
best out of
to
life.
flow it through. We need to go on to multiple.
Yeah.
What if he played a joke and he turned? What if on accident he turned you into an apple instead of him?
So obviously, God doesn't do there's no accidents. If you're talking
It's
about
not
infinite-
possible?
Not possible. You're talking about
Well,
an
the
infinite
joke is
God
not
who's-
an accident.
Oh no! Forget
Yeah.
a joke. I that's why I corrected myself.
Again,
What
I'm
if-
not saying coming as and even coming as an apple. That's not even saying the full person comes
What
out.
if
Maybe
somebody takes a bite out of
maybe
the apple?
Maybe a spark of the person comes back into that because,
Okay.
for example, I'll tell you like an idea. It's kind of a deep Kabbalistic idea. Let's say I don't appreciate food. I complain about food. I don't appreciate it. I waste food, right? I'm just giving an example. I'm not saying this is the exact case. So God says, oh, you don't appreciate food? I'm going to make you come back as an apple so you appreciate, meaning you appreciate it. And then once you see someone appreciate it by making a blessing or whatever it is, or, and using that energy to do good, then that person did his tikkun, meaning what? He got his correction of what he needed to do.
So because
But
he didn't want
But not
he didn't-
eternally, not this, and
he turned
obviously-
to an apple.
Again, we're not God, and I'm not saying who's what and whatever. I'm just saying it's kind of like what the idea of karma, to teach the person, okay, this is what you need to work on. You didn't appreciate this, you didn't appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? But not to say that everyone turns to apple. No, I'm not saying that. That's ridiculous. I'm just saying the idea.
So you don't think you'll be an apple?
If you do what you're supposed to
No,
be
you.
doing.
I'm saying, do you think
No,
you'll be an
most
apple?
people come back. 99% of people come back as human beings like us. We've been in this world before.
But most likely no apple.
Again, if the person is like, I don't know.
Do you think you're gonna be an apple?
No, I don't think I'm gonna be apple.
Oh, what about a lemon? Why do monks shave their head?
There's a lot of
What does that mean, shove
controversy.
their head?
There's a lot of controversy around this.
Oh, shave their head.
Yeah.
Okay, I said shove their head.
What do you mean? Like,
Okay, whatever.
like smashing my head on the table?
Yeah, that's what you said. Shove.
There's a lot of interest in this question, and it mainly relates to, it's kind of a sign, primarily it's a sign of a culture, of a tradition, of a community that you probably, that a lot of people don't have experience with. And In some ways, it's an invitation. Like, why do I wear these robes? You know, I didn't put on these robes to come here and like perform. These are my clothes. My life is.
Yeah,
a monk.
you don't even have. I know they probably can't see it on camera, but you don't even have any shoes on. You're barefoot.
Yeah.
Do you think what? I don't really care. It's up to you. But do you think that might make you a little dirty or no?
Well, no, I thought about this recently because let's think about McDonald's, right? I mean, I don't recommend that people go to McDonald's, but a lot of people do.
Okay.
Quick meal or something, right? So if you go into McDonald's with your shoes on, or even a Best Buy with your shoes on,
Best Buy.
your shoes are covered in dirt and you never wash the bottom of your shoes. Whereas I wash my feet regularly. So in
Yeah, but
that
people are
sense-
not putting their foot on the bottom of the shoe. They're putting it inside of the shoe. And
No,
that
but
usually wouldn't
what
have
I'm
dirt
saying
on it.
is that the human feet are generally more clean than like the floor of a Best Buy or the floor of a
I see what
McDonald's.
you're saying.
Yeah. I do just want to say that, I've been laughing for some of the times here, and I'm not laughing at Judaism or you or anything.
Yeah.
I just, I find Matan is very funny. And
Oh, you're laughing at him?
No, I'm saying I'm laughing with you.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
laughing at me
No, with you.
for being Jewish?
No. For your expression of comedy, for your expression of
Okay.
like how you do things, I see a lot of joy in it, and I also see a sense of harmlessness in it. Like there's not much intention to harm in it, and that kind of comedy, improv, and spontaneity. I mean, that really inspires me, and it's like an expression of joy. Sometimes people hear laughter, they hear spontaneous laughter, whatever, and they think, "Oh, you're laughing at me." But that's not what laughter is supposed to be about. Laughter is supposed to be about happiness and joy and relief. So try to laugh in that way. And if you ever notice yourself laughing like at someone or at someone else's suffering, stop.
Would that be allowed in Buddhism or no?
If you go this way or that way, you will still have to confront this. And I am the one that stands at the precipice of this. So are you ready to confront me?
Also, if I go poof on somebody, I might have to fight you.
No, confront
What
is
if
not...
I'm like what if I start training boxing? Then maybe I might be ready to fight you.
Well, that could be for the what is that? The creator clash, right? With iDubbbz. But I'm not talking about iDubbbz or creator clash, and I'm not talking about confrontation in terms of violence. It's more like an embrace, right? So we're always thinking about debating or having the right point or like being ahead of someone. Why don't we think about cooperating with one another to create better systems for being happier in our lives and
Right.
helping other people? That's what I'm about. That's what I believe in.
Well, let me ask another question. If you guys, a little bit related to the last question, one of the last things I said, do you think that the UFC is moral? Do you know what the UFC is?
Yeah.
It's
The fight. Yeah. Fight.
when they're fighting each other.
Professional fighting.
Sometimes they'll take two like 9-year-old girls against like a 40-year-old man. That's not UFC. That's a different form of MMA. But like 9-year-old girls versus one bodybuilder, who will win? Like, do you think that's moral or no?
I mean, listen, I'm not so into UFC, but if they're making
No, UFC doesn't do that. UFC has weight classes, but there's in other countries they'll do ones where they do like two 9-year-old girls versus like.
Yeah, obviously it's immoral.
Oh no, but they all agree to
God
it.
said.
So this, I do
but they
want to
all
say
said
something
okay to
here.
it.
If God says hitting another person is bad,
Oh, so UFC
and you're
is
not
bad.
doing it for a constructive purpose. Like for example, if I'm giving you surgery, even though I'm cutting you, I'm doing it for constructive.
So you don't
purpose.
think, but maybe they're getting better at fighting, or they're making money.
Again, if they're harming another person and their thing, why? We're a bunch of animals. We hit each other, or we're
So you don't-
We're,
so for-
we're human beings in the image of God, and God wants us to take care of our bodies. God doesn't want you to, like all these boxers, they get so many times punched in their head.
So forget
They
two
can't
9-year-old
serve-
girls
They can't
fighting.
even. They can't even serve God anymore because their brains are not there. That's what God wants.
So you're saying, well, let me ask.
Well,
so
I'm not telling people what to do, but I'm just saying from a morality perspective.
you're
I don't
saying no
think-
good.
I mean, if you have a mission in this world, and now person punched you in the
What
head,
if it-
and now you can't do your mission anymore.
What if?
That's good.
Can I give you an example?
What?
What if I punch him in the head and it finally wakes him up? Not like physically wakes him up from sleeping.
Yeah.
I punch him in the head and it wakes him up and he starts doing work and stops doing stuff like that.
Listen, like I told you before, I'm not saying this situation. If you're doing it to help somebody else, like you're a surgeon, you're giving surgery, or
But-
you're doing this.
but-
Let's say someone's passed out on the ground, you smack him in the face to wake him up, to get him to, whatever. Or you're pumping someone's heart because they have a heart attack or stroke. That's good, but you're hurting the person. No, but you're trying to save his life. So that's what I'm talking about.
What if it's like 50-50, like 50% I'm gonna wake him up with a slap, and then 50% I'm gonna have fun doing it. So instead of a slap, I'm gonna go boom.
So obviously it's not.
But it's
you're
50%.
So you're 50% off.
But I mean, it still
You'll
helps.
be 50% held accountable.
So what, am I gonna be half of an apple? Shit.
Well, look, I do want to take a chance to address one of these questions here.
Oh, you read one of them.
Well, I read of quite a few of them,
Oh.
but one question is, what is childism? So
No, that was
childism.
not written on there.
No, I'm saying a question that I thought about while I
you
was
thought
looking at
about
these.
that?
Yeah.
You came up with that.
What is childism? And so
Okay.
childism is like a premise that the rights of children are just as important as the rights of adults. So like for them to participate, for them to be
Oh, in like
protected.
UFC events.
So that's precisely about it, right? So that there's like in a system that discriminates against children, like has prejudice against children. So they see someone who's under 18 or they see a young person and they say, oh, their mind is like this, or they're like that, or they're inherently less intelligent or have less of an ability to be in the world and make decisions about their life than an adult does in general. And so you might want to look into that. It's similar to like racism or sexism, like a systematic discrimination against children as a target group.
And are you a racist?
I would say that I'm
Just a
mostly
little bit.
no. I would say I'm vividly anti-racist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, vividly anti-racist, because when I see like a person of color, I see that they probably have a different experience than me, depending on the context or
What
the
if-
situation.
okay.
But that they're a human being and their rights are important and how they express themselves is valid.
Are you
just
racist?
like for a young person?
You know, Jews come in all types and forms. So you have African American Jews, you have Chinese
Not often.
Jews. Not often, but there are. And if a human being is doing what he's supposed to be doing, and of course he's a moral person, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. You have to love everybody. Everyone's made in the image of God. We all have a mission. Doesn't matter Jew or non-Jew. You have a mission in this world. You have a purpose in this world.
You could try. I don't recommend that.
So am I racist? Absolutely not. Racism is totally against Judaism, totally against God to be racist.
Oh, the peppers?
But you know what I'm against?
What are you against?
Evil.
Evil?
People doing when they're not supposed
Can
to
you
be
tell
doing.
somebody's evil by how they look?
People, no.
Do you think he's evil by how he looks?
No, he's a good guy.
For sure.
Yeah. This guy's a good guy. But what I'm saying is that if someone is not doing what they're supposed to be doing, and you love that, oh, this guy's cheating people in business, he's scamming people all day, and it doesn't matter how you look, whatever you're doing, it's wrong. And
I have a really good question. I have a good question.
That action.
I have a good question.
But obviously,
I have a good question.
And
not to interrupt you, I need to ask
go,
this
go,
question.
go.
Okay, I don't know how to word this. Let's say you saw a guy outside. He comes into the building right now. He has to shoot a podcast with us. He has a really long neck. He's a white guy. He has a couple of tattoos. Would you think he's evil or moral?
Why would I think he's evil?
His name's Longneck. You're gonna meet him right now. We have to do a podcast with him. So when you see him, are you gonna say he's evil or moral? He's outside. He's waiting outside.
I don't know.
You gonna meet him? You wanna meet him right now?
You can't see someone and determine. You're not God. You're not a prophet.
Well, you need to determine it with him right now, because I'm sick of this guy. He's been waiting in the parking lot for weeks.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on.
Thank
We're
you
gonna
so
end
much.
it here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I was gonna say that for anyone who wants more information, please check out the Indisputable Truth, compelling evidence for the existence of
Self-promo
God,
from a rabbi.
divinity of Torah, purpose of life.
Rabbi is doing self-promo.
I
Come
don't
on.
make any money off this book. I'm giving it for people who want to know more about Judaism.
That can get a free copy.
100%. If you email, go on my website, indisputabletruth.com, INDISTUBAL.
You first got the spelling of your own
I
book.
know, I forgot, yeah. I'm just kidding.
So why would they buy that book? You can't even spell.
INDISPUTABLE, truth. TRUSH.com, indisputabletruth.com.
Right.
No space. And you could get a free copy of the PDF. And
Also,
you
they
wanna
can read it for free.
And if you want to know more topics about how do you know God exists, how do you know Christianity or Islam is from God, how do you know Judaism is from God, purpose of life, secrets of happiness and success, Messiah, life after death.
What if it's somebody who doesn't know, somebody can't see and can't hear, so they can't read it and they can't hear an audiobook, and as a matter of fact, they're autistic and they keep just going like that. So how are they gonna read the book?
Yeah, listen,
Thank you for coming on the podcast.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to Matan. I feel and I hope that this is the start of a friendship
Oh, yeah.
in some kind of way.
I'm going to
because-
become really making a lot of money one day.
No, because I think that there's something special about people who have an ability to like make people laugh and feel freedom in themselves. So, as I said at the beginning, I'm Bante Warapano. I'm a Buddhist monk. I just hope you all try to do your best. Be good, don't be bad, and go forward.
My name
That's
is Aaron